technology and knowledge. This is not the end. While discussing the sciences which exist today, I will give some examples in which Muslim great scientists and scholars and intellectuals contributed, and their work became the foundation for present development in the world. In astronomy, this was again a great gift of Islamic civilization to present world and a Western world. In that, Muzaffaruddin Tusi and Ibn Rushd al-Biruni and Abbas ibn Farnas, they were a great contributor towards this science. While discussing mathematics, algebra and geometry, Al-Khwarizmi, Al-Farabi, Khayyam, Nasiruddin Tusi, Ibn al-Buna al-Marakashi, Ibn al-Hamza al-Maghribi, and Ibrahim bin Sanan, they were a great contributors of their time, and they provided actually the roots and foundation for the present world development and sciences. The anesthesia, another important science, no operations and no surgery can be done without it. And this was actually a gift of Islamic civilization. Abul Qasim al-Zahrawi and Ishaq bin Sulaiman, they were the great contributors and medical practitioners who really gave a root.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. I would like to welcome you all to this special transmission called The Student of Knowledge. First and foremost, Ramadan Mubarak to all our listeners. And thank you so much for joining us today. I have been joined by some of my class fellows from al-Minhaj Institute. We have Sister Azka. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
And we have Sister Noor.
Wa alaikum assalam.
As you can see, we are quite nervous, and ironically, we are discussing confidence today. So I think it wouldn't be just helping all the listeners, but it'll be helping us as well.
Yeah.
We will be joined by Sister Alina as well in a bit. Inshallah, she will be here. So first, I want us to talk about the importance of confidence. So what did you girls think? Why is it so important? Like whenever you're applying for a job interview, whenever you're applying for university application, anywhere you want to go, one of the criteria is that, oh, you need to be confident. So why is confidence an important thing? We'll start with Sister Azka. So what's the importance of confidence?
Before I go into that, so Ramadan Mubarak to you all,
Khair
to
Mubarak.
everyone, including Sister Noor and Sister Ayesha. And importance of confidence, I was actually thinking about it last night.
Yeah.
Confidence is important just because if you want to utilize everything that is available to you out there, all the opportunities out there, then you just have to have the confidence to grasp those. It's just to make sure that you reach your fullest potential.
Yeah.
That's mainly why you need to be confident.
Mm-hmm.
That's one main reason why I personally think confidence is
What did you think, Noor?
I think that confidence is really important because without it, it is like living in like society right now. You need confidence for everything, confidence to go out, confidence to make your voice heard, and I believe that that's really important.
Yeah. I think
true.
those are one of the reasons for why we're discussing this topic, because obviously confidence is very important. And I like I said at the beginning, right now when we were about to start this show, we were all like, oh my God, we can't do this, we don't feel confident enough. So I think it's very important because otherwise you will be losing on opportunities, like you girls said. Okay, so what are some of your personal experiences where you had to be confident and you went out there and, you know, initially you weren't feeling that confident and you were like, oh no, I'm going to die. But when you got there, you did it. And, you know, one thing I've realized is that every time you do something that you weren't feeling confident about, after you've done it, you feel so proud of yourself.
Very proud.
You really want to like pat your shoulder and you'll be like, oh my God, I've done well.
Yeah.
So what are some of your personal experiences?
We'll start with Noor this time around.
Yeah, we can start with Noor.
I personally read nuts, so
Beautiful
And
nuts, by the way, whoever's listening.
And I need a lot of confidence and I need to push myself a lot to read it. And even though I'm so used to reading them, every time I'll go, you know, to a mehfil or somewhere to read a nat or a nasheed or I still need a lot of confidence. So me pushing myself for that, and after I do that, and after I do the nat and I get those compliments and I get, you know, oh my gosh, you read it so nicely, it makes you feel a lot better about yourself. That's why I think confidence is so important, because once you get the hand of confidence and once you are confident, not obviously being too overconfident, because that does lead to
that takes you on the other end.
Yeah, but being confident is important because it gives a boost to your self-esteem.
Yeah.
And you just feel good about yourself that you were able to do something that you thought you couldn't do.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, I think this. Yeah, do you want to say something?
Okay, so I was just gonna elaborate on that anyway.
Yeah, go ahead.
So personally, I don't think I was always confident. That's not something that I've always had. You always have to work. For some people, it comes naturally. For others, they have to work on themselves. And I think I fall under the second category where I had to work on myself. And in number of occasions, starting with politics, where I was pushed to go into politics and deliver speeches and say what I think about different things, and then going on to university interview. But then once you've done it, you feel so good, and then that's what gives you confidence to do it the second time round. Even if you're nervous, then the confidence can overcome the nerve-wracking feeling that you get.
Yeah, same. I think that's how I feel as well. Like many times, in Idara, Minhaj al-Quran, whenever there's assembly or I have to do something, host the assembly or, talk to a large group of people, I'm always so nervous whenever I get told, oh, Ayesha, you will be doing this. And I'm just like, oh my God, I can't do it. Because you feel like you don't have that self-belief. And I think self-confidence is part of it. Obviously, once you're aware of your strengths and weaknesses, you can start working on them. And once you work on them, that's when you become confident.
Yeah, true.
But I think the first step is to recognize your strengths and your weaknesses. So if you know you're not good at something, and most of the time we feel like we're not good at something because we don't have enough knowledge about it. So like Sister Azka was saying, that once you repeat the procedure, you start to become confident at it. So you host one assembly, then you host second assembly. By the time you host third assembly, you're like, oh, I'm doing the assembly, okay, fine, I'll come and do it, because you're completely fine with it. And also Sister Noor mentioned the point about being overconfident. I think we have to be, obviously we're talking about how to become confident here, but we have to be very careful about being overconfident, because we do have those people in our society who are very confident and Mr. Know-it-all, like I know it all, and you have to be careful of that, because you can become quite arrogant as a result of it. And obviously Allah Almighty does not like those people who are arrogant. You have to be humble, and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was very humble throughout his life, and we're trying to follow his footsteps, so we have to try our best and follow his teachings, and that's why we shouldn't be overconfident. But if you are lacking confidence, it is something that you need to work on. So all of us are here discussing it and hopefully by the end of it we'll be feeling better about the whole topic. Okay, so next thing I wanted to talk about is what causes one to lose confidence. So for example, we're all born the same, I think. So it's our environment which shapes us, or our experiences reshape us and make us the way that we are. And some people, I'm sure you guys have experienced it in school, secondary school. I was that kid who's like scared to put their hand up, because you're like, oh my God, whatever I say is going to be wrong, because I don't know, I just think wrong. I guess that's what you think when you're young. And some people, even at that age, in year 7, for example, they were confident. They were putting their hand up. They were like, oh, I want to do the presentation. I want to, go ahead and talk about this matter. I want to take part in assembly. So those kids are same age as you. You look at them, they're so confident, but you're not feeling confident. So obviously there must be something different in your experience compared to their experience, that you're lacking that confidence and they're not. So what do you think are some of the things that can cause someone to lose confidence?
I think there are different things. I've just taken over you. No, you want to go ahead?
No, you go first.
Okay. So there are different things that it depends on whether you're talking about children or adults. So when it comes to kids, I personally believe that it's really dependent upon the surroundings that they're in. So the environment that they're in, their house, their parents, how they treat them, how they encourage them, or how they treat them, and if they know when to discipline them, but in a way that it doesn't hurt their self-esteem, or it doesn't have an long-term impact on them. And for adults, it's just, if you don't have the knowledge of the thing that you're talking about, if you don't know what you're saying, you're just there portraying an image that you're confident, then inside you're basically not confident. So even if you're able to push through that situation in that one scenario, in the second time round you won't be willing to go there, because you have to go through that pressure again. You have to convince people that I am very confident,
but
when you're not, when you don't have the knowledge. So for adults it's different, and for kids it's different, depending on different situations.
If you could speak louder so we could hear you.
Okay, sorry.
What did you think, Sister Noor? What are some of the things?
I think that one thing that causes someone to lose confidence is as I've experienced, like in secondary school right now, is when you're surrounded with people that you know are like maybe with a better ability than you, and then you know that they, and then you just feel brought down because you're scared to say anything in front of them. Like, if it's wrong, I'm gonna get judged. And I think getting judged is one of the main things that
that's
causes
the biggest one.
People to lose confidence, because it's just like being in a society like today, everyone is scared of being judged, and I think first of all, we shouldn't judge anyone.
That's not allowed.
It is important to have confidence, because then you can overcome that feeling.
That's so true. And I actually want to mention this point here, that I have a cold sore, right? So then I was so scared to even step outside of my house, because I thought, oh, people are going to be looking at me. And then when I realized that I have to do a show as well, I was just like, okay, no, I don't want to do this. But then you just have to remember that this is your face, or your physical appearance is not something that matters. It's the words that come out of your mouth. If they touch the hearts of the people, then you're basically successful in life.
I think at the end of the day, it's people with good heart who everyone wants to be with, rather than people with good appearances. I mean, if someone has good appearance and they have good heart, that's like amazing.
They have it all.
Two in one.
But that's impossible as well.
That's impossible. Perfection doesn't exist, as Allama Sahib always says. Allah Almighty keeps on reminding us that, we are imperfect. Only Allah Almighty is perfect. So, I think one of the reasons why I think people lack confidence and they might lose it, or some kids, you know how I said at the beginning that some kid at year 7 they would have confidence and other child will not have it. I think it's just like you guys were saying, their personal experiences when they're little. For example, if the child comes up and wants to say something, for example, if there are loads of people and the kid says something and the parent is like, sit down, stop talking, that deadly look that we all know. They give you that, and you might be about to say something and you kind of feel disheartened that you've been told to sit down, and you feel like maybe what I was going to say is wrong, and from that one thing can have such a big impact on a kid. And they can, I think we have a call now. We'll take the call.
So just note that.
Hello.
Assalamu alaikum.
Hello.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. How are you?
I'm okay, sister. How are you?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. Ramadan Mubarak to you.
Ramadan Mubarak to you too, and you guys are doing really well, mashallah.
Jazakallah. We need that, since we were very nervous at the beginning. So hearing that makes me feel like, okay, I've got this.
Yeah, no, that's very ironic, because mashallah, you guys are doing such a great show on confidence and you're nervous.
No, I think that's the whole point, isn't it? We want to set out this example that you could be, we're like all the other people. So it's okay to not feel confident, but still go on with life. And it's only through experience that you will become better. So right now I'm not nervous. I'm fine. Alhamdulillah. By the grace of Allah.
To feel a bit nervous.
Of course. And I love that you guys were talking about upbringing and that having an impact on your confidence. What do you guys think about psychological things? I think that also has a lot of impact on confidence. Do you think it does?
I think, like last year when I was doing... okay, sister, thanks for calling in.
Thank you.
I will answer your question.
That's okay. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. So I think sister asked a very good question. So psychological factors. So like, how I was talking about childhood experiences. So I remember last year in my A-levels when I was doing psychology, one of the topic was learning approach. So it was mainly focused on how we learn, how people learn different types of behavior. And according to the learning approach, we learn behavior through our experiences. So it's our environment which shapes us as individuals. So one of the theory was operant conditioning. And according to this operant conditioning, the theory says that kids, when you're little, you learn from the consequences. So if you do something and there's a good consequence, you automatically want to repeat that behavior, and that behavior will be repeated several times. But if you want you want a child to stop doing that particular thing that they're doing, you give them a bad consequence, for example punishment, and they would associate the two and they would not repeat that thing again. So how I was talking about before a sister called in, I was talking about when you're a kid and you get told off by your parents for saying something. So the kid, when you get told off, you start to, because that was a bad consequence, you got you got shouted at by your parent. That was a bad consequence. So that was a bad consequence. So you will associate it and you will not repeat that behavior again. So that could be one of the reasons for why you're not confident, because you don't want to do that again. Yeah.
And I just want to say, that's not to say that parents can't discipline their children. They still have to tell them off
of course,
when it's needed. But it's just they need to take the right approach. Maybe if the child has done something wrong, don't embarrass them in front of their friends, because the next time round the parent won't be there to support them. The child has to face all those kids themselves. The child has to face all that humor that will be there, and they will be maybe taking a mick out of the kid, calling names or bullying. That's where the bullying comes in as well. So they just need to remember that, okay, fine, you need to teach them the right way, but maybe take them to a separate room, or maybe take them home and tell them, sit them down, talk to them, rather than shouting. There's another way. That's called talking.
There has to be a way.
And I think shouting, like, if your parents shout at you, like, especially when you're small, you don't even acknowledge the shouting. You just realize that, they're just, like, making a noise at you, and it's just it's just annoying for little kids. But if you take kids to the side and then sit them down and then slowly talk to them and make them understand what they did wrong, instead of just telling them what they did wrong, and if you tell them why it's wrong and why they shouldn't do it again, I think that's more effective with kids.
Yeah, that is more effective. And I think it encourages the kids they don't lose their opinion, They still will say what they want, but they wouldn't be discouraged by what you've done. So we'll take a short break here, and we'll see you again. So stay tuned in to our Students of Knowledge. Jazakallah.
212, or visit appsitetech.co.uk and book your free consultation now.
Amigos, the signature name when it comes to burgers and shakes. Our succulent burgers are prepared in front of you while you wait. Whether you go for the 6-ounce Mexican or the 10-ounce Texan, or you decide to go for a messy fries or buffalo wings, one thing you're guaranteed is quality. We've also got a range of desserts, including our trademark shakes in all your favourite flavours. We're based at 400 Cranbrook Road in Gants Hill, so come down to dine in or order in on Uber Eats or Just Eat. Amigos, hats off to great burgers.
Ramadan FM 2018,
the voice of British Muslims.
Hey, tenu vi wari aake aita cricket na khelya kar, to fir window punch ho rahi hai.
Don't worry, Dad. Our windows need changing anyway.
हाँ तो पैसे तू दे से ना.
Nah, don't worry, Dad. UK Windows will sort it out.
UK Window? Oh, कौन है ना?
They're the best double glazing company about. They do windows, patios, French doors, sliding doors, UPVC, aluminium, you name it, they've got it. We can go see them at 51 to 53 Upton Lane, Forest Gate E79PA, or call them at 07984 440 093, or visit ukwindowslondon.co.uk.
वाह जी वाह, ये तो कमाल है यार. UK Windows
Zindabad.
Thinking about selling or letting your home? With Maxwell Estates, you don't need to look any further. Well established with over 15 years of experience, Maxwell Estates are specialists in residential sales and lettings. We manage over 200 properties in and around Northwest London, keeping our landlords and tenants updated with all the latest laws and legislations. Based in Edgware, our experienced specialist negotiators always ensure we maximise the full potential of your property. Call us now on 0208 952 0808 for a free no obligation quotation, or visit our website www.maxwellestates.co.uk for further information. Maxwell Estates, the name you can trust.
With over 25 years experience in the East London area, there's no better firm to rely on than Cameron Adams Century 21 when it comes to properties. Be it lettings, property management or sales, we can assist you to ensure you get the most out of your property. Contact us on 0208 558 2000 for a free, no obligation valuation and watch us do what we do best.
Grab your taste of luxury at Pink's Boutique. Designer brands like Hugo Boss and Armani to keep your style in check. Catering for ladies, men and kids, Pink's Boutique has it all under one roof. And we offer shipping worldwide, so get the look to fit your attitude. Visit us on our website at pinksboutique.co.uk. Remember, that's pnksboutique.co.uk. Or pop into our store at 302 Brentwood Road, Romford, RM2 5TA.
Ramadan FM 2018,
the voice of British Muslims.
European University of Business now offering BA Business Management, MBA with specialisation. Our courses are regulated by UK Quality Assurance Agency, and taught in a highly professional environment. Special offer for Ramadan FM 2018 listeners only. Please call on 0203 288 3143. Email info@universityofbusiness.eu.
Solicitors in. You can expect a variety of services from us, ranging from family law, immigration, human rights, money claims, personal injury and many more. We are committed to providing you with the best legal advice suited to your individual circumstances. Drop us a call on 0203 500 8000. Our office is located at 62 Barking Road, East Ham, E6 3BP.
Why spend summer in your room when you can fly off to your dream destination with facilities like car hire and hotel bookings? Well, Flight Masters have got you.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to the Students of Knowledge. Today's topic is confidence, and we've been discussing the importance of confidence.
Yeah.
And why is it that some people lack confidence and some people don't? We have been joined by Sister Vaniza. Assalamu alaikum, Sister Vaniza.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum assalam.
Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Mubarak to you too.
So we started the conversation earlier. What do you think confidence is, and why is it that some people lack in confidence?
I think that some people lack in confidence is because they don't believe in themselves, and I think step one of gaining confidence is to believe in yourself and know that you can do it.
Yeah.
And generally just like motivating yourself to like speak to others and do things in public which you wouldn't do. Obviously not wrong thing.
Yep. So,
you know,
Vanessa, how you said wrong things. What do you mean by that?
Just things which wouldn't be accepted in Islam.
Okay, yeah, true.
And don't humiliate yourself.
So don't be thinking
girls,
that.
If you could talk louder so we can all hear
I
you.
think if you're too confident, that's not a good thing either, because sometimes, like you said, you humiliate yourself, you make a fool of yourself. So I think you should be average on confidence.
Sister Vanessa, just move forward slightly. We're having issues listening to you.
You have to talk a little bit louder.
Right, so we can all hear you. Otherwise, we'll miss your valuable points. Yeah, so what were you saying?
Yeah, I was saying that, what was I saying?
You were saying being overconfident.
Yeah, yes. Being overconfident is not that great either, because when we're too overconfident, we sometimes humiliate ourselves, so we make a fool of ourselves. And I think it's just good to be like average confidence.
We have a caller. We'll carry on, after. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Assalamu alaikum. Ramadan Mubarak.
Ramadan Mubarak.
First of all, I just want to congratulate all of you girls, mashallah. You guys are doing a fantastic job. A superb topic on confidence. Also, I just wanted to ask, could you, as your show name is called al-Minhaj Institute, could you give a brief description on what Minhaj Institute is?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I think that's a good point. We should talk about it so people know about the the organization that we are studying under. Thank you so much for calling in and encouraging us. Jazakallah Baji.
Allah Hafiz.
Yes, so I think like Sister told us, so as we all are students of Al-Minhaj Institute, what do you girls think? Why are you studying here? What is it all about? What is it that we are studying? What topics do we study? So we'll start with Sister Azka.
Yes.
So just to do with our course, we do cover everything to do with Islam, basically.
I mean, yeah.
So it goes from Arabic. You learn Arabic consists of
but
2
we
parts.
also do learn about the dunya too, as well as
of course.
So you learn about the Arabic, so you learn the Arabic grammar, and you're able to you get to a level where you're able to construct sentences, understand Arabic, and hopefully in the future we'll be able to understand the Quran without needing any extra help.
Yeah.
And also on top of that we learn fiqh, which is normally to do with, for example, I'll give you an example of fiqh, like matters like your wudu, Different how to perform your wudu properly, that would be falling under fiqh. And then we also learn about the hadith. You learn the hadith. Alama Sabi literally goes, he has the hadith printed out for us.
Very helpful.
Yeah, very helpful.
We're very lucky.
And he goes through every single one of them, making sure that we understand it. And he repeats every single
translating
thing.
it as
each
well.
word as well.
Yeah, all of that. And also the final thing is just the Quran. We go through the translation of the Quran. So those are the main topics, but here and there we do discuss other rules as well. We discuss different different rules and obligations that are there to create the rules as well. That is Alama Saab's favorite topic, so he likes to tell us a little bit here and there.
Topic. But I think I must say that we are very lucky that we're studying in al-Minhaj Institute, because we get platform like, for example, this radio where we can come. Obviously, you know, we're all in colleges and universities and we're doing all of that. They give us opportunity to come here and talk about these matters, and you know, it improves our confidence as well. We become more confident through these experiences, so we're very lucky, and it's a great platform for us to improve. And throughout Ramadan, all our listeners will be listening to other students as well. So we have more students coming every day from Monday to Thursday, 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and they will be talking about various topics. For example, today we're talking about confidence. There will be, you know, issues to do with physical beauty. Right now in media, you know, there's this idea of beauty that you have to meet. If you're not meeting that, I don't know, they want you to disappear. But I'm not sure if that's possible. You can't disappear just because they want you to. But there's other topics as well. For example, Deen versus Dunya. So is it really Deen versus Dunya, or is it both? Is it together?
And
so
also,
we'll be discussing that too,
and also the focus of the parents. So like, what do the kids think of the parents? How do the words of the parents affect the children? Coming from children's perspective, because we always hear, okay, so it's the kids' it's an obligation upon the children that they have to be obedient towards their parents. But just thinking about it from the other spectrum and seeing what kids think of their parents, and if the upbringing is the right approach, the approach that they're taking in their upbringing is the right approach.
I think there's loads coming, so everyone should be tuning in from Monday to Thursday, 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock, and obviously you can call in and you can comment on whatever topic is being discussed.
Also, the brothers will be there as well.
There will be brothers too.
Let's not forget
gender equality, we are all about that. There will be brothers. So I think carrying on with our topic, so now I want us to talk about why is it important. So we've talked about importance of confidence in general. Why is it important for young Muslims like ourselves to living in UK at this particular moment in time? Why is it important for us to be confident? And you know, let's take the call first, and then we'll carry on with this. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. How are you girls?
Alhamdulillah.
Ramadan Mubarak. Thank you. You guys are doing so amazing. I'm so proud. I just had two questions about confidence. Firstly, you guys mentioned earlier on the show that it's not good to be overconfident. So there's a very fine line between having confidence and pushing that, so you come across as arrogant. Like, what are the tips for noticing when you're crossing that line, and what would you do if you felt that maybe you are becoming too overconfident? So what techniques that you guys do, and what makes you like humble again? What reminds you that?
I think that's a very good question that Baji's asked, because a lot of people could become overconfident and they don't even realize. So how is it that you'll realize that you've become overconfident? Did you want to say something else?
And my obviously.
Go ahead.
So my second question is, so it is Ramadan, and you know, we live in the UK, and some things we do might be a bit different, and we might need to we might need to pray in school, and sometimes you don't feel confident enough to do that, especially if people are like walking past, if you have to say in your workplace. Like, what advice would you give to those Muslims who are feeling like a bit shy to practice their Islam, and they're not able to confidently be who they are and practice their faith to the fullest? So what would your advice be for them?
Yeah, sure. We'll try to answer those questions, because we are not
scholars.
Those
are tough questions.
We are on our way to become scholars, inshallah.
What would your advice be, just generally? What would you do? As what's
sure.
your solution
We'll give it
to
our
it?
best shot.
Okay.
Assalamu
alaikum, girls.
Assalam. Jazakallah for calling, Baji. Thank you so much.
No
Allah Hafiz. So the first question that Baji asked was, how do you, if you become overconfident, how did you distinguish between, you know, being normal, like confident, or overconfident? And if you know you become overconfident, how do you become humble again?
I think one of the main like signs that to show that someone is overconfident is arrogance.
Yeah.
And I think one way to realize that you are arrogant is obviously when someone hesitates to say something in front of you in the fear of, like how I said before, in the fear of being judged. If someone is, so say if Sister Azka is here and I'm not saying you're overconfident, but say she is overconfident and say that she thinks she's always right, and she's and she will just like, you know, if I try and say my opinion, she will just like put it to the side and just like, you know, cover it with her opinion. It's the fact that you're not giving anyone else a chance to, you know, make their voice heard. I think that one is main thing.
And the person themselves, we know that we have our loved ones around us and they encourage us to do better, and they're always encouraging us. And when you're not confident, we push our loved ones and we say, okay, you can do this, you know. Like before the show, I was encouraging Ayesha and I was encouraging all the other sisters as well. Yeah, we can do this.
I'm going to give a shout out.
And then we do that. But then once we know that this person, now they're taking my encouragement in some other way, they're not taking it as a help, but they're just taking it in the manner that, oh, I know it all. So then you'll see that people around you who used to encourage you, they just go away from you. They don't encourage you anymore
because they've had enough.
So then you realize yourself that I'm overconfident now. That maybe I'm doing something wrong. Maybe not. You don't realize that you're overconfident, but you do realize that there's something wrong. That those people who were around me, encouraging me, supporting me all the time, they're not there anymore.
Yeah, I think just like really being aware of your surroundings. So when you're talking, if you're just, like Sister Azka said, if you're the only one talking in the room and you're not letting anyone else talk, then obviously, you know, there's something wrong. Because obviously people have opinion and they want to say things, but if you're not letting them say it, then obviously you're taking over their opinion as well. So you really have to. So the part of the question was, how can you become humble? So what are some of the things that, you know, can help you become humble in a situation where you're overconfident?
First of all, I think you can like ask like people who you know are truthful to tell you if you're overconfident. And maybe you can become like humble by like lowering your
giving chance to other people, for example. So once you realize you're overconfident, I think just honestly, as Muslims, just reminding yourself that, you know, not everyone's gonna know everything, and you're not gonna know everything either. It's only Allah Almighty who knows everything. So if you're in every situation, you're like, I'm right, I have the answer, come to me, I'm gonna tell you, then obviously that's not correct, because you're not gonna have answer to everything. And Alama Zishan Saab was he always says that he believes that, you know, everyone has some sort of talent. So you can always learn something from someone. So if you're an individual who thinks that you do not have, you know,
anything to
only,
learn,
you're the one, you do not have anything to learn, and you're the only one who knows everything, then there must be something wrong, because there is something to learn from everyone. So you should be learning stuff from everyone and be humble. Obviously being humble is very important. That was a character of our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we were also discussing, before we took Baji's call, we were discussing the importance importance of confidence for young Muslims living in Britain. And I think that kind of links to the second question that Baji asked about being shy, you know, when you're during the month of Ramadan, when you have to be fasting, you're not allowed to eat, or you're going to read namaz in school or college or university. Sometimes I'm not gonna lie, there's times when, you know, when you go out of, obviously when you're in East London, that's a different environment. But if you go like central London or somewhere out of London, there you do feel kind of out of place in a way.
You do.
And you're like, okay, you know, I'll delay my namaz for like 5-10 minutes.
Not
then
even
we get to a
5-10.
specific place and we'll pray when we get there. So what can we do to get rid of that feeling? And I think that kind of links with confidence, because you need to have confidence to accept your identity, accept what you believe in, and then go ahead and you know, take on life. So it's our Sister Azka. So what are some
Noor can go first.
Noor wants to say something.
Okay, another call.
Oh, we have a call. I think we have loads of questions to answer. Assalamu alaikum. Hello, assalamu alaikum. Oh, I think we've dropped the call.
You'll have to call back, whoever that was.
Call back. Do not go away. Don't be discouraged.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, you're back.
Confidence right there.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Mashallah, I just called to tell you guys you're doing really well. You're doing great, mashallah. And Ramadan Mubarak to all of you. And it's lovely to hear and see you at the same time.
Baji, I think I must be doing great since you called.
Yes, so how about all of us, Aisha?
Yeah, I'm happy to see your confidence.
Yeah, I know, right? I need to work on it. Baji knows.
No, it's good, mashallah. It's really nice. And I just wanted to say that you guys are doing really well.
Jazakallah, thank you so much. I think we need encouragement from you anyways. Allah Hafiz, Baji. Jazakallah for calling.
Jazakallah.
Oh, that was Baji Asma. She's the principal in Minhaj Islamic Evening School, London. And she's very encouraging. So we need people like her who encourage you to move forward. So, you know, she heard the radio show and she called in. And I feel much better now. I feel like I'm doing well since Baji Asma called. Okay, so yeah, so we were discussing the question that Baji or Noor asked earlier about, you know, feeling shy and feeling out of place when you're somewhere outside your normal environment. How can you come over that feeling?
That is, I think that's pretty normal. That happens to everyone. We've all experienced it. Let's not lie. I have. I admit to that. I put my hand up for that. And I'm sure Noor has many times. And especially being Muslim girls. Okay, let's take the call.
You guys. Okay. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Oh, wa alaikum assalam.
How are you all, sisters?
Alhamdulillah, we're fine. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Loving the show. Amazing topic, especially because it's one of those topics that we actually don't discuss.
Yeah.
And it's really important as well. One question I had was basically, you know, losing confidence is not that hard, but actually regaining it back is very hard.
Yeah,
so if you can just talk about that and what things could help you regain that confidence.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I think especially youth really need those tips and, you know, guidance.
Yeah.
If you can just tell us that, that would be great.
Yeah, we'll surely try. Like I said earlier, you know, we might be, you know, saying stuff which is wrong, but obviously it's the process of learning that we're all going through, and we have this great opportunity to come here and discuss these topics. But Jazakallah for calling. Thank you so much.
Barakallah. You guys are doing an amazing job, mashallah.
Assalamualaikum. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, so Sister Anisa's question: how can you regain confidence?
Let's quickly answer Baji or Noor sister. She must be there. She will be like, okay, where's my question gone?
Yeah, sure.
Where's my answer?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Okay, so I think we've all experienced it. You do feel out of place, especially when I was going through my college, and I used to go Central London, and I did feel a lot.
Because we live in the Western society.
And we live in the Western society, true. And you do feel like you're not, maybe you're not doing the right thing, or maybe you're not in the right place. You shouldn't be here. You feel out of place. That's exactly what Baji Noor said, and we all agree. All the Muslim sisters, especially who cover up, they do feel like that. And it's normal. Just realize that it's normal, and we all go through it. Yeah. So you just need to realize that we all go through it. You're not the only one. You're not alone.
Yeah.
So having the realization that you're not alone, and knowing that you're doing it for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that comfort that you get just by realizing that is basically everything. And that will give you the confidence to go outside with your hijab on, with your abaya on, knowing that you're doing it for the one who created you.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And also answering both Baji or Noor's question and Sister Anisa's question about you know, how can you regain confidence? I think the first step is self-acceptance. Once you've accepted yourself as you are, and you know what you want in life and what you stand for. For example, in terms of religion, you know that you're Muslim, you know that you're a follower of beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then once you know the cause of why you're living the way that you are living, then you automatically start to, you know, these things don't seem difficult to you. You're ready to take on the world.
Yeah.
We have a call. I think we'll take the call.
Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam. I'm Mohammed Zishan. First of all, I want to appreciate all of you, mashallah. You are doing great job. and you have discussed very good topic and which is very relevant today, mashallah. So I congratulate all sisters, mashallah. I just want to, I want you to say one thing. Mashallah, you have covered all the topics which is relevant, and we may talk about a bit more, but inshallah ta'ala in other shows. We may find some brothers and sisters that they are not confident when they need to answer about some Islamic stuff or Islamic things, because a lot of propaganda against Islam is there. They are confident when they talk about their own subject. They are confident when they have to deliver their own stuff. But we don't find them confident when they have to defend Islam. So what is the reason? So I want you to share with all the listeners who are listening to you, mashallah. So I again appreciate you, congratulate you. May Allah give you more strength and make your iman more stronger, inshallah. So nice of you. Assalamu alaikum. So I'm going to listen to your answer now, live. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. We'll try our best, Alhamdulillah Sahab.
Yes.
Okay, so how can we answer Alama Saab's question? Which is, I think it's a very good question, because even before starting, coming to al-Minhaj Institute, you don't even want to talk about this topic, because you know, because of all of that Islamophobia and all in college, you don't want to talk about it because you feel like you don't have the answer. And I think the main reason for that is because you lack an answer. You do not have the knowledge. So what did you girls think?
I think that the main reason why people, like especially young people, I've experienced it myself. So before I used to come to al-Minhaj Institute, people used to ask me questions like, okay, about my religious and stuff. Why do you wear, okay, for example, why do you wear scarf? Then I would say, oh, to be modest and because my religion teaches it. And then they would start asking more questions like, why does your religion teach it? And they would want quotes and, references, religious scriptures to back it up. And I think that's where youth gets confused, because they don't want to say something that people might misinterpret afterwards. But alhamdulillah, now coming to Lama Saab's classes, he has given us a lot of knowledge. So now we feel more confident. But I think especially Muslim youth in the society today should be going out and taking those opportunities that they get to receive knowledge, because it can help them.
And also promoting knowledge.
Yeah, especially that, because it builds their confidence again, like we were saying.
Yeah. Like initially when we were talking about how you can become more confident, one of the points, I think Sister Azka mentioned it, that you don't feel confident because you don't have the knowledge. So as soon as you have that gap filled, you have that knowledge, you'll automatically become more confident. And you can say it's unfortunate that we have a lot of knowledge, but it's not accurate. It's not necessarily accurate. So I remember before starting here and understanding how we should study Quran, how the Quran is studied, I would just read a verse from the Quran, translate it, and I would think it applies to me, because I don't know how to study the Quran. And you just think it's in front of you can read it and translate it. That's how you think it works, but obviously that was wrong, and I was wrong. So you need accurate knowledge from an authentic source for you to be able to understand the Quran and Islam in a better way. And once you understand it accurately, you will feel confident to answer people, because you know what you're saying is 100% correct. But if you are unsure about what you know, you will not feel confident, and you will not want to carry on or answer people's question. It's
also like answering back to Lama Saab's question, going back to, we do go off topic a lot here. So Lama Saab said that why do you not feel confident to defend your religion, defend your why can't you put your voice up when it comes to Islam? I think mainly because what Noor has said, Sister Noor has said, is that sorry sister, but sisters, you have to have the knowledge. So if you don't have the knowledge about your deen, you're not passionate about your deen, you don't you don't believe in what you say that you are. You say that you're a Muslim, but you don't really have any knowledge about it, you don't study about it, you don't love your religion, but you just say that, oh, I'm a Muslim. Then of course you won't stand up for it. So I'll use an example. For example, if a lot of people are against following Justin Bieber, but others they follow him. So the ones who stand by him, they love him, they have passion for him, and that's why they stand by him. And that's the same thing, exact same thing applies to Islam. If you're passionate about your deen, you'll see there are some brothers and sisters, they do stand by Islam. That's because they study about it, they take time out of their busy lives and they educate themselves, and they love the deen, they love Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So they stand by it. But if you don't have any knowledge about it, then you're embarrassed and you're shy and you have doubts on whether you're right or wrong. But the main solution to that would be just educating. Parents, they have to really push their children.
I think the role of parents really comes in here, because obviously you're a little kid. I see some of my friends, they're really good people, but they're not close to Islam. But then it confuses me, because I'm like, oh, okay, they're really good people, they wouldn't do anything wrong, but they're not close to Islam. And you cannot necessarily blame them for not being close to Islam. It's just the sort of environment in which they've been brought up and stuff. So you really have to, parents really have to make sure that they're bringing this environment for their kids where they really develop their love for Islam. Love is extremely important. It shouldn't just be told to you. You shouldn't be like, Alama Sahib always says that, you shouldn't be just be Muslim because you're born Muslim. You're in a family where your parents are Muslim. That love needs to be really there in your heart, and you should really want to follow the religion because you love Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the way you fall in love with someone is by knowing them. So if you don't know Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and you just know his name and you know he's your prophet, you will never fall in love with him. You just heard it from your parents and you're like, oh yeah, I'm follower of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So love will only come if you look at his lifestyle, if you look at his seerah, if you see how he used to live, what sort of decisions he used to make. And once you see that, you will automatically be impressed by him because his personality was such a mashallah. So I think you really need to develop that love in your kids, and once that love is there, they would automatically be confident in accepting their religion and accepting their identity and going out there and
standing by it,
standing by their religion.
Knowing little things like the Mi'raj, if you know about that, and you know how Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he remembered us on that day, on that special time. He just remembered his ummah. If you know these things, you know that he loved us so much. We need to stand by our religion. We need to protect our religion. So just educating your children.
There's a lot of older people who will promote deen through speeches and stuff, but I think kids need to nowadays promote deen more, because I think they can persuade other kids who are more far away from deen, because when they do listen to older people's speech, most of them get bored. So I think with kids mingling is a really good idea.
I think and obviously that requires confidence, which is today's topic. So you need to install that confidence in those kids.
We can actually here put Alama Sahib's message forward of breaking your words down to a lower level, to the audience's level. We see that a lot of scholars, they would speak for kids, but they're speaking in a manner that it's not relatable. Kids can't relate to you, and it's not effective.
To be honest, they just get bored.
They get bored.
They see someone on screen, it's a black background, someone sitting at the front and just giving a speech, and you see it for 2 minutes and you're like, you just want to, you kind of feel like you're going to sleep. So I think that's a very good point.
I think they need simple meaning.
So just the way they understand, basically. It doesn't have to be complicated, and I think that's why we are really people are going away from religion, because it's not impressing them. They're not able to stay there for long. They just leave after 2 minutes because they're like, oh, it's boring.
They need to be engaged in what people say more, rather than just listening to words and not going in the head.
Shouldn't be one way, it should be two ways. So getting the kids to respond as well when you have little mini gatherings for little kids, making sure that they're actually taking part in activities, having activities for them, speaking, actually valuing their opinion. I think we lack that a lot in our society as well, that we don't value kids.
Oh yeah, that's a big one. If a child says something, we're like, oh, you sit down.
You're just a kid.
You leave it.
Oh, you sit down. You've got nothing to say.
When they are the adults of the future.
They are the adults of the future. That's true. I think, that's a big discouragement for kids when you do that. So you really do need to give importance to the opinion of kids. So I think we've got a few more minutes left for our program, and just final conclusion in terms of few tips that all of you can give that everyone will remember that they can do in their every day-to-day life to improve their confidence or overcome any problems in terms of confidence that they're facing. So we'll start with Sister Vaniza.
Okay. I think just saying, when you're walking around in general, just saying salam to another sister, even though your first time you'll feel really, really scared or nervous, it will boost your confidence. The more you do it, the more comfortable you will get.
I think that's a good one as well. I remember that time, and I didn't feel, when you walk into a room and you see other women who you do not necessarily know, or girls or kids, but you feel shy to say salam to them because I think it's linked to the question before that you're shy to defend your religion, in terms of that you feel like maybe your pronunciation of salam is not correct. Maybe the way you're saying it, you're being disrespectful. You feel so shy, but you're never gonna learn if you never say it. So I think that's a very good point, to practice it. Basically, if you practice it, you'll eventually, the fear will be gone, because you'll become conditioned to know that it's not something difficult. Sister Noor?
I personally believe that knowledge is power, because once you have the knowledge of a subject or anything, you feel more confident to share that knowledge, and when you share that knowledge, other people like acknowledge it, and then they, you know, you feel more comfortable around people, like Beniza was saying. And like Alama Sahab said, that how would youth be more comfortable in defending deen in the society today? I feel like once you gain knowledge of Islam, you realize the beauty of Islam, and you realize how lucky we are to be from the ummah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Alhamdulillah. And I think it just comes to you naturally then. And then when anyone says something wrong about Islam, you just stand up for Islam and you start defending your faith.
Yep,
that's
a really good
point.
mashallah. For me, I feel like I need to relate, or everybody to just link back to what you've said. Basically, just stand in front of the mirror. Stand in front of the mirror and tell yourself. Tell yourself that you can actually do it. You can do it, and have you don't have the confidence just yet. You're standing in front of the mirror and you're looking at yourself. You're not any lower than anybody else, and you remind yourself that no one's perfect. We're all imperfect. You need to know that nobody is perfect. Even if they portray this image that they are perfect, you will see so many scholars. They seem very knowledgeable, but you don't know. You don't know exactly how knowledgeable they are. I'm not disrespecting anyone.
Yeah, of course.
But all I'm saying is that you need to know that they have imperfections in them. We all have imperfections in us. So you need to know, accept yourself as you are. And even if you know 0% of Islam, that's fine. Just start your journey. Start somewhere. Because if you don't start, you'll always be in that situation where you're not confident. So you need to start somewhere. Take your first step towards it. Start going to little gatherings, and if you don't find time during the day, start going at night with your parents.
You can even watch short clips on YouTube.
Watch little videos on YouTube. That's the easiest one. You can sit down at home. Just make sure you're going on the right video. Right now it's difficult to find the correct type of videos as well.
It can be misleading as well.
So just telling yourself that you are confident, you can do it, even though you can't. For the time being, you can pretend that you
know,
are
fake
confident.
it until
just
you make
fake
it.
Fake it for now.
I think that's a very, like, today, for example, I could have just called and said, oh, I don't want to do the show because I'm feeling, you know, I don't feel confident enough. But you have to tell yourself, okay, I'm going to go there, I'm going to do it. Even if I'm scared as hell, I'm still going to go and do it. And honestly, right now at this moment, I don't feel like I don't have confidence. Because I'm comfortable in this environment currently. So I think like all of the tips that you guys have given are really great, and people can actually use them in their everyday life. One thing I would like to say is that mainly the biggest reason for why people are not confident is because of judgments of other people. So we're living in a life which is based on other people's judgments, what they think about us. So, you know, you don't dress in a certain way because you think, oh, what is that person gonna say? You know, I'm gonna dress like this because so that when I go there, I'm gonna fit in. And in terms of religion, you feel like, oh, you know, like I said earlier, your pronunciation is wrong, your knowledge is wrong. Honestly, you just have to think of what is it that I'm gonna lose by doing this particular thing. You've got nothing to lose. If you say salam, for example, if you read an ayah, you say a hadith, initially the first chance is you've said it right. If you said it right, obviously that's a great thing. If you haven't said it right, there's nothing to lose. You haven't lost anything. In fact, sometimes someone is going to correct you and you will learn it for next time. So confidence really makes us lose on great opportunities, you know, great learning points in our life, and you don't end up learning because obviously you've never taken that opportunity. So really forgetting about only focusing on constructive criticism. Criticism which helps you improve. Criticism which just puts you down and makes you not want to do things. I think just, you know, you need to ignore that and get rid of that from your life.
But of course we understand that's difficult as well. In the moment we're in that situation, you don't think like that. You don't feel like, oh,
I think that's a topic that some of our class fellows will be discussing in future. So
I'll leave that
we'll leave it to them. They'll be discussing what we need to do to get rid of, you know, these thoughts that we have. We're constantly thinking what the world thinks of me. You forget about what you think of yourself. You don't even know yourself because you're living according to the world's ideas. So I think we'll say Allah Hafiz for now because So I think thank you so much for being here today, all of you, and giving your time. Some of them had exams and they just literally ran from their exam halls here to talk about this topic. So I think commitment levels are very high, mashallah. So
even though I was late.
But you did make it, alhamdulillah. So we're glad you're here. So from Monday to Thursday, like I said earlier, 4 to 5, you'll have students from Al-Minhaj Institute talking about various different, very important topics. So do not forget to tune in. I think we'll say Allah Hafiz for now. So thank you so much for being here. Ramadan Mubarak. Make sure you make the most of it. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi.